Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, after our nice breakout above our resistance area, hovering around the midpoint of the next range, obviously this the low and this the high, we weren't able to get continuation up to test the top of the range, so we actually dropped straight back into the resistance even below it. Sorry, the old resistance, so the support, the old resistance, new support, and are currently back testing into it, which is obviously not the most bullish of scenarios, but yeah, back testing into it. So we need to get back above. Clear of this area, and then continue back into this zone, or yeah, we're gonna get rejected here, and then I mean we do have to then target lower prices, put it that way. Obviously 28,000 and then potentially even 26,000. So we do know of late we are more loosely following the stock markets, but generally speaking we obviously do know we follow the stock market. So the stock market also, as you can see, it basically broke above this important resistance area, flirted with the old resistance as new support, and then failed, and is potentially looking to back test that as well. Will it get them rejected and then come back down and trade low and drag obviously everything down with it? Yeah, we shall have to see. We can also go and look at the 10-year yields on the move back up as well. As you can see, again supported by this pretty important support level. Was looking like a head and shoulders, but obviously we never broke the neckline, so we were rallying back up. So yeah, 10-year yields putting the squeeze on. I think what happened was we massively priced in Fed tightening. Then we had those comments about a potentially pause in September, and then the market then moved the other way, and then now the market's kind of pricing that, well, basically just retracing some of that move in that direction. You can see it also in the DXY. Didn't quite make it down to this support level, near enough though, but it's back above this horizontal here. Well, actually it's not. I mean, it got back above that horizontal, but is now back below. So could this continue back down and take out this low? Yeah, it very much could. I mean, a lot of this dollar strength has been driven by euro weakness, but we are now getting basically in the eurozone, we are getting talks of potential 50 basis point rate hikes, and obviously taking them positive and all that cool stuff, because in the eurozone has a pretty bad inflation problem, to say the least. If you actually annualize the last 4 months of the inflation prints for the eurozone, it's running at a north of 16%. So there are severe alarms ringing there in the eurozone, which just means the euro is going to have to potentially strengthen up off the back of rate hikes in much the same way the dollar did. And that will potentially then weaken this dollar. But I mean, again, it's fiat currency against fiat currency. Is not necessarily indicating any real risk on. It's just indicating an interest rate policy decisions in the eurozone. An actual asset that would indicate obviously more what is going on with the currencies is gold. And yeah, I mean, it's not really doing a lot here. It's at an important level. I mean, if we do kind of zoom out, you can just see it's not done a lot for a while, oscillated around an average price, and that is just where it is at the moment. Oil did ease off, which is obviously good to see, but clearly in a bullish trend here. Clearly a series of higher highs. I'm sure we'll put in a higher low, but until obviously we do break down, firstly we've got this resistance area here, then we've got the underside of the trend line, then yeah, I mean, you do obviously have to have an upward bias here. Yeah, I mean, that's it, you have to have an upward bias. What else do we want to look at here? Yeah, Ethereum BTC pairing, still as weak as you like, sat on these lows. Obviously a bit of FUD about problems with blocks being produced for one of the testnet versions, and just delays, and just a general weaker market. Obviously, Ethereum been a higher beta crypto relative to Bitcoin, so if Bitcoin is going to be taking a move to the downside, you kind of have to expect Ethereum to move down more. It didn't initially, and then pretty much then, as you can see here, capitulated versus Bitcoin, and has been obviously trending down since. The Ethereum USD pairing, again at these lows here, in this range here, not looking very good. But this is obviously the dollar value, so basically mostly for the most part following the direction of Bitcoin. Not much else to look at on here. Not much else. I mean, generally economically speaking, we got the ISM number, which was actually really good, 56. That was a surprise to the upside for a lot of market participants. ISM is particularly a good forward-looking indicator for market conditions, so that is actually a good statistic. I think ultimately what we have got going on here, broadly speaking, is the Fed is just trying to get all the lazy millennials off to work. The lazy people that I call them lazy. I mean basically people that made a load of money in stocks and cryptos and option trading and Robinhood and all that cool stuff. They're trying to bring markets down to drive those guys back into work. Once they get back into work, obviously that will just generally help boost the economy, generally help reduce inflation, generally help getting growth going. And I mean that is, I think, is the main policy realistically. Yeah, I mean, and it has obviously got the potential to work. And then that will clearly have an impact on inflation to the downside. But yeah, it is all obviously against a backdrop of do commodity prices, do soft commodities, foodstuffs basically, and energy prices just offset that reduction in obviously services, and then things people are buying like second-hand cars and just goods, durable goods basically. So yeah, interesting times. Let's look at stochastics. What are they looking like? 4 hour coming down and still diving. 8 hour coming down, got a lot of room to run. 10 hour turning down, a lot of room to run. 12 hours turned down here from a high level. Daily is still turning up though, so we have still got support from the daily. Buy daily is still pointing up, so we've got support from the buy daily. 3 daily ish. 5 day, like I said, turned up, an important one if that gets moving. Weekly still pointing down, bi-weekly looking to try and turn back up. So overall, the longer term time frames are a lot looking bad. It could indicate that we have this will be the low for the time being. This is a bit of a pullback of this breakout, a back test, a backfill of these levels, although it has come a little bit deep. And then yeah, we can continue take out this high, take out this resistance, and then move on upwards. That it would be a tentative possibility at the moment, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens in traditional markets. Yeah, that is about it, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.